The OJ Simpson trial was a 24/7 phenomenon that kept observers, legal analysts, and journalists at the edge of their seats. And my guest tonight is all three: a lawyer, a journalist, and observer. Jami Floyd, currently a host and legal analyst at New York public radio station WNYC. Jami, welcome to the program.
Happy to be here.
You know, hard to believe it's been 25 years, and you were there as a young journalist, young lawyer.
Very young.
Starting out, I mean, you sort of started with the case, right?
That's right. That's right. I went to Los Angeles to cover the criminal trial, up 5 a.m. every morning because that's what you had to do to get a seat.
Yeah.
And I was working then for KPIX in San Francisco, a station that brought me on as a very young journalist. I was an attorney.
Right.
I'm an attorney by training. And who knew that it would become the trial of the century?
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, at that time, could you tell that it was as big as it became?
No. When these horrible murders occurred, I think we knew it would be sensational because of the tie to OJ Simpson.
Right.
And he almost immediately became a suspect. And that Bronco chase happened on June 17th. So less than a week went by. So it very quickly ramped up.
Right.
But
we didn't unraveled.
And unraveled. And then we had a year-long trial.
Sure.
And race was so much a factor. And gender not enough of a factor. Domestic violence.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we understood the full implications, cultural implications, and that we'd be talking about it 25 years later.
And what fascinated me about it, and you alluded to it, is how black and white the case was, and not in terms of how simple it was, but how race was really at the center of it at that time and still today. I mean, a black OJ Simpson, his wife and her friend, Ron Goldman, white, and how polarizing it was.
That's right. Well, you know, it came on the heels of the Rodney King case. The acquittal of those officers, the unrest that followed. I think people often forget how closely in time these events unfurled. And Ezra Edelman has examined that context in a film that I consulted on, the documentary that won the Oscar in 2017. And it's called OJ Made in America for a reason, because we all had a role to play in that context in which this trial took place, and some would say these murders took place.
You know, not a day goes by where OJ Simpson isn't mentioned, and the question is, do you believe he's guilty? Do you believe he's innocent? I mean, I think that's kind of the lingering, question that's still out there that no one really knows, I guess.
Right, and we may never know. And I think one of the fundamental things we have to understand about the criminal justice system is that there are unanswered questions. There has been an evolution. If you look at the dichotomy between black and white then and now, that dichotomy is less than it was 25 years ago. But race relations may not be better. They seem to be as bad, and we have a lot of work to do.
Right. I'm wondering if there will ever be another OJ Simpson trial. Because times are different. I mean, that was the very beginning of the cable news kind of cycle and everything. Now it seems like we're over it.
Well, the devolution of cable news maybe started with that case.
Exactly.
But if you go back through our history, there have been so many trials of the century, even from the colonial era, the Lindbergh case, the Fatty Arbuckle case, Sanford White. I mean, these are some cases people don't even think about or know about. And there have been big cases since OJ, maybe not any as big, but there will certainly be another big case like this one. It's hard to believe it, but I'm here to tell you we'll see another.
And we'll be covering it, probably.
Oh, yes, we will, and maybe in different ways with social media, but legacy media isn't the only way to drill down on a case.
All right. Jami Floyd, attorney and journalist, thanks for coming in to help us.
PhD in OJ Simpson.
All things
let's
OJ.
Let's remember the victims as
absolutely, well. Absolutely. Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson.
Yeah,
definitely.
And for the families, that pain never goes away.
Absolutely. Jami, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.